Welcome to another debate session on national education policy, the great debate, points for and against. Number one is holistic and multidisciplinary learning. It aims to educate the students academically, emotionally, and physically. It emphasizes nurturing the whole person, including students' cognitive development. Students can choose subjects across various streams, including arts, science, and commerce. It helps students become well-rounded individuals. Mother tongue as a medium of instruction. It motivated students to use their mother tongue at least until grade 5 and till grade 8. It is believed that children learn best when they use their mother tongue. It develops understanding and builds confidence in students. It also inculcates a love for learning among students. It leads to better comprehension and strengthens cultural skill development in physics. The policy considers the fact that honing individual skills will prepare them for real-world demands. It focuses on vocational education and practice-oriented learning. Schools integrate with industrial training institutes. It develops employability skills at all stages of school education. Flexible curriculum. The education policy empowers students by giving them flexibility in course choices. The traditional 10 plus 2 system is replaced by a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. The first 5 years to make their foundation strong, 3 years for the preparatory stage, 3 more years in the middle stage, and 4 years in the secondary stage. Increased digital integration. The policy stresses the use of technology in teaching at all levels. It aims to transform the entire nation into a digitally empowered society. Technology will help remove language barriers and also help Divyang students learn. It will help the students stay globally competitive. Multiple entry and exit in higher education. This unique feature of NEP allows students to enter and exit programs at different levels. Students can earn credit for completing a course and they can even move between different programs. The idea behind such a feature is to reduce dropout rates in schools and colleges. This is beneficial for students as a student can study in different universities. With academic bank of credits, it has introduced a credit system that can be used across institutions. For example, if a student, Rajni Gupta, has enrolled in BSc in chemistry, in the first year she earns 40 credits from a university. In the second year, University B accepts her 40 credits. In the third year, she earns 60 more credits. Now, the total of credits are 100 and she can study in 2 different universities with the credit system. Focus on early childhood care and education. ECCE is a priority of NEP as it empowers pre-primary education reform. Children between 0 to 8 years require play-based learning. The curriculum is developed to ensure cognitive development, gross motor ability enhancements, and improve social interaction. Teacher training and assessment. It is to make sure that teachers have the required expertise and competencies needed at various levels. It recognizes that continuous professional development of teachers is mandatory. Hence, a 4-year integrated state-specific, subject-specific Bachelor of Education is offered. NEP also focuses on a proper assessment of teachers. Promotion of Indian knowledge systems. The Indian teaching system strives for the welfare of all. The policy is to make sure that the rich heritage of Indian and ancient Indian knowledge is preserved. It inculcates moral values and qualities of empathy, respect for others, courtesy, responsibility, and justice. Brotherhood, yoga, and Ayurveda have been embraced by the international community to date. National education policy points against the policy are: number one, implementation gap. Such reforms require infrastructure and trained human resources. Since sufficient resources are not available, practical implementation of policy is not possible. Textbook preparation and imparting new teaching methodologies are a Herculean task. Language barriers. India is a country with a multilingual population. It would be difficult to impose mother tongue as it could affect the English fluency of students. There has been massive political unrest over the three-language formula of the policy. Many states in South India are unwilling to teach Hindi. Digital divide. Students in rural India do not have access to technology. Many schools in villages do not have internet connectivity. Moreover, teachers in rural India do not have the knowledge to use technology in education. People from low income families can't afford to buy digital devices for their children. Overburdened teachers. Teachers will have to go through additional training and evaluation, which could increase their stress level. They need to adopt to new teaching methodologies. Some teachers might not be able to participate in the training programs due to paucity of time. Teachers' well-being will be at stake as they struggle to have work-life balance. Privatization concerns. The policy will promote the autonomy of institutions. Since institutions will independently implement the policy, they could increase tuition fees and the weaker sections of the society will not be able to afford it. The policy is for the benefit of public but could end up in commercialization. Lack of clarity in vocational training. Partnership with industries and job placements for students need further clarity for implementation. Vocational courses are still considered to be a secondary option. Specific curricula need to be integrated with the educational plan. Vocational training is not preferred by students and parents. So, these were the points for and against the national education policy. If you would like me to cover up any new debate topic, please do write to me in the comment section. And do not forget to visit englishvedas.com